the huge difference between spirituality and religion to me, and why I love to resonate more with spiritual discernment, because I feel like there's no rules when we say the word spirituality, when we say we're spiritual. There's an openness there that says it's free to create what feels right to you. And when we say religion, I see parameters and settings and structuring that you have to conform to. Already there without you, will be there after you, and you don't have an impact on that. There's no personal impact in that structuring. And that to me is a great red flag as well, of negative things and of distortions and of polarities being negatively oriented. Because everything should be human and individually focused and birthing from individuality, and from the presence, present moment. That's what we're here to live within. This is why Gnosis and what I was talking about before, about undeniable truths, and they bubble up and come back, because they're real and because they're there for each one of us to discover in our own way. It doesn't change the truth just because we've made a different walk up to the river bank. All of us come to the river of Gnosis inside of us that will take you on your journey. Everybody walks up to that bank from a different place. You're birthed in a different little spot to walk up to it. And that's wonderful. We should all get there on our own way, but that doesn't change what we learn when we're on the river. It doesn't change the flow of the river and the lessons that are to be incorporated by riding it and stepping into it, swimming or whatever. It's an infinite creation of manyness there that we'll all get into, and we'll all know water is wet. Water moves. Water is different than land. They're undeniable things that when you get to the river and when you do it for yourself. No person, no matter their walk up, their predetermined things about what water is, or your observations from far away when you see this river, you might say, oh, it's dry, it will suck the life out of me, it's going to pull out. You could have all of these fake beliefs, these wrong lies created, falsities about water. And other people might have the real truth. Oh, it's wet. When you get there, you're going to get soaked. Watch out. Don't put your shoes in there. You might think, oh, they're going to disappear. Your whole leg disappears when you put your foot in the water, perhaps. And people are saying, oh, no, it's sandy down there. I bet it's sandy. I bet there's earth underneath it. All of us, no matter what your whole thing was, what your site tells you about the river, when we all get there, we all learn what wet is and what the water is wet. Nobody can go to the river and get dryness back, or be sucked down, or diluted, or disappear within it, or whatever. Whatever anybody's little things were when you were on the walk up, right? Whatever the imagination just had. And I feel like God, truth, unconditional love, sovereignty, our connection is like that water being wet. And that we'll all come to it. And there's many truths like this. This is what Gnosis is. This is what like the Gnostics, all of these sacred mystery type of schools, like Pythagoras or Plato, or even the Vedas and the more Eastern aligned ancient, the Chinese philosophers or yogis or monks, all of these over time, druids, and even people who were sorcerers, witches, magicians, all of these deep connections to Gnosis is because they're in the river, right? And my phone, my TV's gonna click off into commercials. I'm so sorry. It's pausing. Never mind. But yeah, all of these traditions and all of these ancient things and all of the gnosis and the knowledge, the real truths, bubble up and come through time after time through all of these places, all of these esoteric understandings. And yeah, of course, half of that also, there is the positive polarity. There's the mystics, the gods, the saints, the prophets, all of these more positively aligned beings. But yeah, there's also those more secretive beings, like that we see as those who are looking to negatively control reality based on those same parameters and understandings and connections and gnosis. Like, people that we like to demonize and see as wrong, um, Illuminati, or the Khazars, um, or the Jews, or there's just so many of these sort of manipulated, skull and bones, underground secret society, negatively oriented, manipulating, kind of focused on pulling strings and orchestration and micromanagement of the knowledge and of the workings and of the control of the whole. That, like I said, this is, it's a free will universe, and there are those options are available because that's within the settings that we're in. That's this density and buoyancies that this reality inhabits, is the ability and the right to that space and place for those entities. We need spiritual discernment within our individual selves, excuse me, to monitor all of those things and to see and hear all of them and know that all of them have those little truth dots in them, and that perhaps they each have scattered bits of them, and that we need to incorporate all of them to then make our own, real true heart shape, taking bits and pieces from both sides and making our own and moving through that way.